Good evening, Gooners. Welcome to In the North Bank and the Big Sunday Show. Got a full house today. It's like a waiting room. it's really good to be live again. Well, we might need a couple of checkups for certainly some heart conditions over the last few hours. Yeah. I know from the start of the day, I think my heart was going like quite a few of you. With all the kind of the worries about what potentially might happen through previous results. Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. I'm joined by Sparksy, Des, Mark, and Bez. How are you doing, everyone? You okay?
Blood pressure is a bit down now, so we're all right. We're all right. We're still here.
Yeah, no, it's good. I can still see you all moving, so yeah, that's a good sign to start with. So normally this game is an autopsy, isn't it?
Traumatic is the word you're looking for.
Traumatic. We've just appeared out of the behind the sofa, and we're kind of just assessing the damage. 8 straight defeats that we've had, obviously, over there. Look, we knew it was going to be tough going forward, and one of a few tough games going into the end of the season. But overall, I'm pleasantly surprised by the performance. And I know obviously we're in a lot better situation than we were the previous years, certainly with available players coming into this fixture. But I thought we'd done really well. I think we could have done a bit better with regards to being on the ball, but without the ball, we done really well. So, yeah, what were your thoughts? I'm going to go to you, Sparksy, first of all. At the start, obviously thinking just from the morning, and then going on to the team selection. How were you feeling going into it?
Yeah, I was very stressed. Very stressed indeed. Yes, it was like, I just didn't want to be embarrassed, just the usual case where we've gone there and it's been a bit of a mauling and like all the hope that we ever had is just paled into insignificance, and we just want to see progress, don't we, at the end of the day? And just not get battered, humbled, whatever you want to call it. And if you'd offered me a draw before the game, I'd have taken it. I don't think we necessarily played for the draw, but I think overall, a draw was a fair result anyway.
Yeah, how about yourself, Mark? I'll go to.
Yeah, similar to Sparks. Last few years, we've gone up there and been embarrassed, I suppose. And that's always in the back of your head, even though we've made a lot of improvements. There is always that fear, City, or they think they haven't been beaten at home since 2022 or something, since just before the World Cup last year. So it was always going to be a difficult fixture. As I think we've all heard the stat, they've scored in 57 games at home in a row. So yeah, you're anxious, definitely, that something that's similar to what happened last season doesn't happen again. So yeah, as Spar said, it would have taken a draw, bit your hand off for a draw before the game. As you mentioned, we probably weren't as good going forward or attacking as we can be. But against City, I think most teams aren't. They box you in. They're very, very clever. They don't let you out of your own half easily. So it is hard to create a chance against them again. And I'm sure we'll come on to them. The 2 centre halves today were absolutely immense, both of them. A point, and we move on to Luton on Wednesday.
Yeah, no, that's it. So, Bez, the lineup. What did you think?
I was impressed. We kept the same shape, but the only sad part was from the get-go, we just looked so defensively without even realizing, I enjoyed it, but I didn't expect to be this defensive, from the get-go. Really, I wasn't. So
yeah, it's one of those strange ones, wasn't it?
It was.
We'll go into that, but again, I don't think it was a plan. I think it came out in the press conference. I don't think it was a plan to be that kind of deep. But as I say,
It
a
was
team,
reactionary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
a team like City do force you back a little bit, and then sometimes you do have a little bit of that kind of siege mentality, and you kind of just kind of get together. And there were times like we were playing like with like about a 10-yard, 15-yard depth. We're so tight up with Havertz just dropping in. As soon as we won the ball back, there's no chance of being able to get out and actually keep meaningful possession anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought the team sheet. Well, I think on the preview show, I think I predicted that team anyway. I didn't think Martinelli would have come in. I think he was struggling, and the fact that there wasn't a lot said about him was quite telling as well. And I know you tried to keep cards close to your chest, but yeah, I think we kind of mentioned it as well. I think at the end he looked like he was struggling towards the end, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Des, what did you? Come on, you probably had some mad thoughts through the morning and on build up.
Yeah, before I say anything about the team, can I just say rest in peace, Rocky? It's been 23 years since Rocky Rocastle left us.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Rest in peace.
He was there.
Yeah, he was there in spirit. Yeah, I wanted Martinelli to start, but we got Jesus. So basically, it was let's see how we get on. And to be quite honest, there were no surprises in the lineup. You know, no one missing that shouldn't have been, and all that. So the only real change was Jesus and Martinelli. So it was game on basically. Yeah, I was nervous going into this because it's Man City, but yeah, no surprises, no shocks. Just there to play a game and try and win it.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate, 100%. Just a quick hello to Liam in the chat. Well done to Jonas, he says. We'll go into that a little bit later. And then Russ Morgan, evening, lads. So, yeah, evening, Russ. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Richard. He's the final member of the group. How you doing? I can just make you up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I'm doing well, not too bad. And you, all of you?
Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. Yeah, we are definitely in good spirits, I think.
Yeah, good day all round, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just saying about the lineup, Richard. Do you have any reservations about that? Did you think any more changes? Or was
I mean, it was who was fit, and I think once you knew who was fully fit, the team picked itself, and Martinelli obviously wasn't fully fit. Otherwise, he would have started.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only other thing was would Trossard keep his position? I'll tell you what. Let's delve into that first bit of the game, and it was a tough start, wasn't it? Because they picked up the possession quite a bit, and obviously they bossed the early exchanges. We obviously were struggling. We couldn't get out, and I'll put it out there. I didn't think that Jesus was looking particularly fit either. On that side, it was kind of one of those where it just seemed like he was almost chasing shadows a little bit, and just kind of not almost being that little half a pace off, maybe being able to get anywhere. I don't know. That's what it felt like to me at that part. But what did you think on that left hand side? Obviously, Kirill, I think, had a shaky first exchange. I think it looked like it was going to be a very tough day. Didn't it, Sparksy?
I think both wingers were given a different role. I think they were there to solidify the defence if they needed it. Obviously, Saka there with Ben White and Jesus with Kivior. So it's difficult to see whether he's actually fully fit or not. I mean, obviously he's not going to be as sharp as he was because he hasn't had a run of games and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know. You never can really tell, especially if they're interchanging between a new position, a new role. And we all know that if he's not playing at number 9 anyway, he's going to be on the wing role, so he's not quite going to be as influential as he would be in the centre anyway, because he can do it from both sides. But then being asked to go deeper and basically make essentially a back 6, I think it changed it again. So very difficult to tell. It probably wasn't 100% on it, but I wouldn't have said that he was that far off. Some of the touches a bit shaky, but again, I think that comes with game time, with runs of games, getting fitness back, and not necessarily trying to interchange into a different role. So again, very difficult to judge. He had a couple of shots as well that were a little bit flaky, I guess.
Yeah.
But again, he's interchanging between 3 roles. He's never done that before. So I think he can be excused a little bit.
Yeah, I think I was probably being a little bit harsh. I probably was being a bit harsh in my, because that's what I want to do until you can see the game back again and see it in the cold day of light.
Light of day.
Light day. That's the one. And you look at it and you go through it and you watch it all again and you can see. I think probably it highlights, Mark, the quality of the press that obviously City were kind of putting on us as well. I thought they handled it very well, certainly high up the pitch, which
Absolutely.
made it really hard.
Absolutely, and they made a slight change in their formations. Like Kovacic nearly played as a third centre half, which I think Saka then was caught between 2 stools, whether to go and press Kovacic or to stick with Gvardiol. Gvardiol ended up getting a lot of joy down their left-hand side early. Now, nothing came of it because he's not a natural left back or left winger. He's a centre half playing out there. But as I said, their press, it's very effective and has been, I don't know, perhaps they're 6-7 years now. So they're all in tune. Everyone knows exactly when to go, what the triggers are in terms of their press. And we got boxed in essentially. As you said, the gaps between Havertz and Odegaard and then Rice and Jorginho and our 2 centre halves was basically from the 18-yard box, not even to the halfway line, maybe to the edge inside our own half to our centre circle. So we'd no out particularly at all. So look, the wingers were asked to do an incredibly difficult job today. Basically try and be a force in transitions, and then when we don't have the ball, basically help out as fullbacks essentially. Again, that comes back to what you said, Brad. The way City play and the way they set up, they force you onto the back foot, and that's when you have to just develop that siege mentality and just dig in and make sure you don't concede. They obviously were trying to do what they did last year, get off to a very fast start, put us on the back foot right away. We have to chase the game then and start leaving gaps. So look, it was a very disciplined performance from our 2 wingers. I know that's not what anyone wants to hear or see, or how our wingers play, but today they both had to do a job for the team, and I think they both did it. Well, it wasn't as what we'd like to see them do. Again, they had to. I think it was Dirk Kuyt invented the term defensive winger, and both of our players nearly got boxed into that role today.
Yeah, that's it. Bez. I think I said in the previous show, and I said in the end of the day, this game was just a must not lose. There's obviously a massive difference from being, say, 2 points behind to potentially being 4 points ahead, or holding your ground and being a point ahead still. The main thing was obviously not messing up our goal difference, because that is obviously key as well. That's another point. At the end of the day, you look at it like that. If it comes down to it, it only takes a draw from Liverpool, and then it's back in our way. And yet we've got lots of games. Yeah, what were your thoughts on City themselves? Obviously, they had a few injuries themselves, but it seems like whoever comes in just does a job, and it's like they're just so interchangeable, aren't they? I think City, in a way, they've always got a way of playing. And did you think? Oh, it annoyed me when you had the commentators going on about Man City were poor, and it was Man City not being as good. What did you think to that?
Well,
it's always the adage, isn't it? It's like every game we played, we won in those 8 games. It's always been because that team is playing rubbish.
exactly. My point is to sum up what you're saying is how the fact is the other team's playing badly. They get all the talking points. We play great as we've been playing the last few months, and in the new year, we don't credit where it's due. I don't understand these commentators how they think he's always the anti-Arsenal club again. You know, the likes of Gary Neville doesn't give you credit at all. He just says, "Oh, City. Oh, here comes Doku. Here comes De Bruyne with a fantastic drive into the box." I mean, you don't give credit to our defenders, first of all, who clearly, both of them, control that defense that they did. I mean, firstly, you can see, okay, you say our wingers didn't have their best games. Sadly, it's just one of those games, it seemed like, anyway. But no credit, again, was given at all to our players at all. Not 1 inch. I was like, what am I hearing? I literally, because I'm watching for a stream, and it flicked between the Sky Sports one and the American one, and I was like realizing the Sky Sports bunch are just hideous to hear. I'm sorry, I can't bear them anymore. I think sometimes you just leave it on mute. It's terrible.
We can't bear them either, Bez. We're kind of stuck with them, unfortunately. And unless we're all running on fire sticks, and we can have the luxury of switching over commentary. Yeah, not good. It's not good.
Can I just say, the one thing that really got to me with while we're on about the commentators is that Neville said that City had a depleted back line.
He did. I
mean, it's not the normal starting 5, granted, right? How much was Guardiola? 75, 80 million.
Yeah.
You got Diaz, who every City fan seems to think is the best centre back in the league, even though he doesn't play every game.
Yeah.
You've got Ake, who everybody puts in. In the combined 11. Everybody puts Ake in. And the only downside was Akanji, who was another 50 million, was he?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Very depleted.
Very depleted.
I mean, start for any apart from Liverpool, maybe us and City, they go in the starting 11, all 4 of them.
Quite comfortably as well, Sparks.
Weren't they also saying as well in the commentary that Man City haven't beaten anybody in the top 5 as well?
Yeah, they haven't. They haven't beat anybody in the top 5 at home.
It's like they need new. Do you know what? They need some of us lads on these flipping YouTube channels, because end of the day,
they couldn't afford me, Des.
Well, probably not. I know you're not cheap, Mark. I know you're not cheap. All right, but what I'm saying is we do a better commentary than what they've got there now. Because end of the day, they've got nothing good to say about anybody.
No.
It's all about them, and it's ridiculous. I mean, today, let's be honest, Gary Neville absolutely hates Arsenal. There's no getting away from it. He absolutely hates us. And he doesn't really give a 2 tosses about Man City either. He can only talk about Man City in a positive way because of how much they've won.
Yeah, he kind of has to. Yeah.
The only one that come out of it with a bit of credit was a bit of Micah Richards, wasn't he? When he come out and said about it, he said about last season's game, and he said, "Oh yeah, we missed."
I mean,
and they nearly laughed at him for saying it.
Yeah.
What he's not taken into consideration today is, look how Gabriel got into Haaland's head. Look how Saliba had Gabriel covered. I mean, they were headbutting each other. Do you know what I mean? They were. I mean, I think they went down twice, Saliba and Haaland, from hitting each other in the head.
Yeah.
Rodri, dark arts all game. He smashed Gabriel in the head with the elbow. Yeah.
I was going to bring that one up. But I was going to say to you, do you think that was because I looked at it and I watched over it. And I was watching it with my dad, and my dad's not got massively great eyesight, and he can't. He goes, he's just got.
He smashed, mate. He smashed him in the head. The referee was a big game changer in the game today as well because he was scared to get his cards out. When there was meant to be cards, he never got them out. And when there wasn't meant to be cards, he just got them out. He was scared. He was trying to keep it flowing. I get that. I understand that, right? But there was fouls there was fouls in the second half that I've seen people sent off for. Do you know what I mean?
Remember Webb said it when Oliver, I think it was Michael Oliver, refereed the game at the Emirates back in October. And Webb was on that show, He Doesn't Like Alone, and the Kovacic thing got brought up. He said, the referee just didn't want to overly influence a big game. I'm like, that's not exactly what he's there for, you know? If that's what we're doing, we're kind of screwed.
Yeah, no, I look, I think we've been long-term. But also, we've been frustrated long-term about these kind of appointments when we come to play these teams from Manchester and in the north, where you suddenly got a manager, also a referee from Manchester, and and you just suddenly looked at it. And I was just seeing the decisions that were given for City throughout the game, the whole game, the little 50-50s, every single kind of foul. They'll be calling out for cards. There was no
3
punishment.
minutes in, by the way. That
if that was us, it would be yellow card. You're asking for it. There's about 3 or 4 of them just constantly doing it. Bernardo, all of them.
All the players were doing imitation. All the Man City players, every time someone went to the ground, they were doing yellow card gestures to the ref. You know what I mean?
But then you saw us making tackles and it'd be given. But then the fouls that were coming back the other way, we were like, it was just like, get up, play on, and that's the frustrating.
Particularly on Havertz. Havertz got fouled 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Long balls were played up to him, and it's off you go. What am I watching here?
Well, as I say, the Rodri one against Gabriel would have been a sending off.
I'm surprised that there was no check on it. Or you'd have heard.
He elbowed him in the head. If he didn't elbow him in the head, right, I've got cerebral palsy and I walk straight. Do you know what I mean? That's you know what I'm saying? There's miracles. Do you know what I mean? Because if he didn't elbow him in the head, then what? Again, it comes back to VAR. I don't want to get in that conversation because we could spend hours on that. But I think there was only one check in the game, wasn't there? When Haaland, something to do with Haaland.
Yes, a penalty check.
Oh yeah, that was right. Gabriel had hold of his shirt and he reckoned he pulled him down, didn't he? That was the only check in the game.
He held on to the shirt, but then Haaland went and then held his hand on his shirt and then tried to fall down. Yeah. So it was like, it's an absolute joke.
That was the only VAR, as far as I know, unless any of you others heard it in the commentary, that was the only VAR check through the whole game.
Yeah. Now, Richard, did you watch the game, or was you with the ladies still?
Yeah, it was all right.
He was froze, I think.
Oh, gremlins are coming out.
Yeah. For me,
that,
it was
is that
a decent game.
No, it's not me.
You hearing me all right?
No, you're lagging, mate.
Breaking up. I cannot hear you, mate.
Yeah. We got a storm down there at the moment, and I've had no internet for an hour, so it's coming on and then going out. So I'll try and see what happens.
Yeah, no,
something again on the other end. I might just join you in chat.
Yeah, come and join the chat and come and get involved because you're a good lad in the chat as well. We'll keep you active.
Right.
Keep you active.
Cheers, Rich.
All right, I'll do that. I won't run away. You too. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, he's gonna keep dropping out, isn't he?
Yeah, look, we'll keep it going. Just a quick dip in, Colonel. I love his City fans moaning about us setting up defensively. Solid, unlucky. Yeah, look, I don't get it. I don't get the whole.
What we're supposed to do?
Yeah, look, you just turn up and roll. But this was our kind of problem when we say like people turn up and sit back and kind of don't really want to come and play football. It's not like we didn't want to come and play football, but we were just trying to make it hard. Just like we said, those wingers would be coming in, tucking in a bit more centrally to try and block passing lanes and just try and stop those little passes and little interchanges in those areas. Nothing wrong with that, and just unfortunately, I think there were a couple of players that we just were missing or lacking maybe a little bit of sharpness that potentially could have got us up. We created more chances.
That's it. Believe it or not, defending is part of the game, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
We've done really well defensively, and that's and we said about two massive players, and that would be obviously Gabriel and Saliba. They were monsters. I don't know if it was a ploy. Sparksy, I'll go to you on this one. I'm not sure if it was a ploy from Man City to make Haaland start going towards or gravitate towards Gabriel rather than Saliba.
Because Gabriel,
I don't think it was.
Yeah?
No, I don't think it was. I think it was. I think it was an Arteta tactic. I think that there was. There used to be an old style way of playing with two centre backs, where one would be close on and touch tight to the striker if there's just one central striker, and then the other one would kind of read what was happening and just mop everything else up from there. And I think that was what was going on, really. I think that's, you know, Gabriel's just a bit stronger. Saliba is a lot quicker, and he's more perceptive, I think. So I just think that's what was done. Gabriel was supposed to be getting touch tight, and Saliba was supposed to be reading the game and kind of picking up for when anything came through from Silva or any other source, really.
You've got to remember this time last year as well, though, guys. It was holding up against Haaland, wasn't it? So it was, you know.
Yeah, no, it's again. I'm just going from the fact that when you're that striker and you're saying you want to play up against that weaker kind of, you want to get in those situations where you're playing against that weaker kind of defender, and you prey on going for that defender rather than maybe say the stronger one. Mark, what did you think to that? Haaland.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Pep was trying to exploit something, or as Spark said, Arteta that's just the way the game kind of fell, and Arteta said, look, you go touch tight with him all the time. Saliba then mops up whatever breaks or whatever falls between the two of you. It worked out very well for us. Haaland hardly had a sniff all game. Again, Saliba, we'll talk about them ad nauseum, I'm sure here. The two lads were absolutely fantastic today. Absolutely. And have been for a long time now. I know we're all Arsenal fans here, so we're bound to say it, but they are the best centre-half partnership in the league at the moment. And it's not exactly close, in my opinion. Famous last words, I know, but they've been absolutely outstanding for a long time for us. Were last season as well, before Saliba got injured.
That's 12 clean sheets now for Saliba now, isn't it, this season, I think?
Something ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah. No, they've really formed. And I'll tell you what, it was really, really pleasing to see, Bez, like they're talking about each other and just the general kind of praising each other. Obviously, had Saliba like talking about Gabriel, how he was really good player, and the friendships. You look at it, it's quite good for this group, isn't it? I think because obviously we know we need to build this group further, and you suddenly think, well, look, if we can keep this group together, it's going to be one hell of a group, say, in another 2 years' time, isn't it? With everyone getting a little bit older, more experience. What do you reckon?
Just something quick. I'm noting these stats. City had 32 crosses and we had 24 clearances. So that tells me defensively we had no credit again. Nothing was given credit from either side in this thing. For me, growing up in Invincible's era, to see the two defenders who come from a French league and straight away get in the unit straight away, to get in their heads to say, look, we play for this shirt, for this beautiful team, to do what they did today, showed me that, look, when we have a strong defensive unit like today, we can achieve big things. And what made me more happy is, I think, as you guys said, when the VR check happened, I think the guy had a little nibble at Hardy to say, "What the hell are you doing, man? I'm like, you go down so easily." And he's like, "What?" And then Harlan is like, "What?" And I'm thinking, man, you were rattled last year. Not rattled, excuse me. You're destined to be this beast of a machine of a footballer, which we don't disagree with that. But the way we kept him quiet today, both of our defenders cleanly, nothing rash, nothing silly. I was just thinking, fine, keep it like this, keep it like that. Don't change that layer, keep that layer as it is. Like don't break that, keep it strong. That's what I'm just thinking. I mean, in this defensive masterclass, sadly it's not win, but as a defensive thing, it feels really good to see this positiveness from last year's shambolics, as we know. I'm still thinking, please keep this depth at the back at least. Don't change it. Don't rotate it. Keep it, keep it solid. I meant to say, not to drag on too much, but keep it solid.
Yeah, as long as injuries.
Fingers crossed.
That's when obviously we can keep it the same, can't we? But yeah, obviously Haaland's a pretty. I said obviously that issue with the penalty shout. There's he's one of those that everyone creams about from the media side. Goals. Oh, hello.
That's me, missus. Sorry.
Oh, no. That's all right. You're throwing glasses, eh?
Dropped a ruler.
So yeah, Haaland just basically.
He went down like a little girl, Paul. Let's be honest.
He's grabbed his shirt. It's Gabriel grabbed his shirt and then he's basically grabbed Gabriel's hand to try and hold it on there whilst then falling over. So it's like, he's still got his shirt because
he literally jumped in the air and went down.
But he's done all sorts. He'll do that. Look, even the home game. You look at him when he come and he knew where Saliba was in that home game and he looked across on the halfway line, thought he'd bump him off and then run on goal. And as soon as Saliba come across, it was literally bomb and he's down on the floor. Saliba turns around and gone. He loves to push it around.
Yeah.
Don't like it the other way, does it?
Do you know what it is though, Paul? Right, it weren't just a penalty shout, right? There was other times in the game where Haaland was knocking into Gabriel. Gabriel was giving it him every single time, right? And I tell you now, I love our back four, right? Even with Kivior in there, I know he was being stripped today by Silva, but he's still a good left back, I think, right? But I'll tell you this now, right? Okay. To me, Gabriel is as good as Saliba and vice versa. They're just that. They are that unit. They are that unit that we've got.
They work together very well.
Yeah, that stick together, yeah. But you've got to give Benny Blanco a bit of credit today as well because he was getting forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, it's a unit of four plus the keeper, yeah. And I've got to say, Raya today, his ball distribution wasn't the best, and to actually get done for time wasting was a bit what are you on about? Do you know what I mean? But the Gabriel is a tank, and he won't take no messing from no one. And I tell you, me and James were talking about this before the show came on. Even at the end of the game, he was up in Haaland's face giving it, and Pep Guardiola had to step in between them, right, and calm them down. Well, I think he was trying to calm them down. In the end, they made up and gave each other a hug. Do you know what I mean? But Haaland, great goal scorer, but anything else, I think for such a big lad, he goes down like a fairy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe for Spot how much he seemed to chat, and you could just tell what he's doing. Like it's like sledging, wasn't it? It's like flipping, just being on flipping.
He's a sledger, isn't he? He's a bit of a bully, isn't he?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's just like just shut, you just get on with it, and you just. I mean, it's one of those players you've literally say you can probably tell why his dad ended up with the wrong side of Roy Keane. But funny enough, it was quite funny when Roy Keane was going on about him, didn't he? Did you hear what he was saying about his hold-up play? He goes, he's League Two. He's definitely he's all right scoring goals, but his hold-up play and all that is like League Two. So he needs to brush up on that. So it's like,
KDB's head was mashed today as well. He weren't playing properly either. we got in his head as well. He was getting really angry over silly little things as well.
Yeah, I just think overall, I just think the whole team put in a massive shift, and yeah, we could talk about we weren't swashbuckling, we weren't brilliant, but we were efficient in what we've done. And look, we created some really good chances. We'll go on to the second half in a minute. There was only one massive chance for them, wasn't it? It was the corner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Aki.
Okay, yeah.
Ake off the shoulder, and it literally just fell straight into right on the line. Tell you what were your thoughts on that, Sparksy? When that actually happened, I was like, oh, Christ. So I was like,
I mean, yeah, more of an action than like something like that. But yeah, it was just like, yeah. Vardiol needs a shout out for the first half, though. He was immense that first half.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sparks. I agree with you.
He was absolutely unplayable. That first half is just mental. He was everywhere. He didn't get beat once. It's just ridiculous, and there's no surprise that Kivior couldn't handle him and whatever. And yeah, he was everywhere. He just didn't put a foot wrong. So yeah, fair play to him as well. Yeah, I didn't even see how close that was until the replay, and I was like, well, that could have gone anywhere. Don't need to see that again. Thank you very much. So just like, get off my screen very quickly. New underwear, please. Yeah.
No, I said, Mark. It was a scary moment, wasn't it?
Yeah. You're watching. Went over like 5 players at the front post. You're like,
yeah.
How has that gotten to him? But look, and he didn't see it until very late. It kind of just hit off Ake, rather than him actually making any action.
It's one of those goals that we'd always concede, though, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
As good as we probably play, it would be something like that. We would take a ricochet or a deflection.
Yeah. Normally in the 89th minute, though.
Yeah.
No time to do anything about it. Yeah.
Deep intake of breath time, wasn't it? It was like,
whoa. Yeah, that's why it was change of underwear time.
Yeah.
Colonel said so. Just confirmed. Obviously, the City's defence cost 180 million. So
but that's depleted, right?
The depleted. Yeah, that's the big.
The depleted defence.
Yeah, the big defence.
Sounds good.
I mean, we'd all like to have a backup defence like that, wouldn't we?
Well, don't we all? No, we don't. No.
Wouldn't turn your nose out anyways, would you?
We had like 40 million pound Rob Holding last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
For a couple of games, wasn't it? And then he went back to 2.5 million, wasn't he? There was
ours about 130 in it.
Oh,
yes, that's our first.
Our youth team as well. No. So half time come along. Did any of you think there'd be any changes at half time? Did you think maybe there'll be a different kind of focus? I kind of was thinking on that basis of still don't lose the game, but stay in the game. And I suddenly thought that with, say, players like I didn't expect De Bruyne to have played. Did he stay on for 90 minutes? Well, he did, didn't he?
Their subs, Doku came on, Grealish came on, Lewis came on.
But I weren't expecting De Bruyne to play, so I was suddenly thinking, well, if he does come on or come off, then we've got some obviously a bit of pace, Martinelli and stuff. And I suddenly thought, well, if we can obviously stay in the game, then the longer it goes on, the potential that we could go the other end and maybe have that one moment of brilliance. And it so nearly happened, you know, honestly. But what did you think at half time, Sparks? Go on, you Sparks, just go.
I thought it was kind of much of the same. I didn't think it'd change that much. I kind of thought, if anything, we get to like 65 minutes, and then change if necessary. But I didn't really see anything manic happening. Obviously, the Trossard coming on later on would be the one for me. But yeah, kind of what happened, I expected to happen. Obviously, they had an injury the first half anyway, didn't they? So they had Rico come on. So obviously that was a bit of a change up for them. But I didn't really see anything towards half time changing for us. I thought if anything they might change.
I think they always have to, don't they? I think
Well, they're the home team, and I think that the fact that we beat them at home as well, I think it put more pressure on them to do something. Had they beat us at our place, then a draw would be more acceptable for them. But the fact that they lost at our place, they needed a result really. So that he had to do something at some point to go for the game a bit more. But yeah, from our side, I think it was just much of the same. And not that we could really have changed that much anyway, to be honest. And players coming back from injury as well. You know, they probably didn't have the yards in their legs to go for that period of time anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Mark, what was your team talk?
Yeah, same, pretty similar to Sparks. It's like, okay, we've got to half time at 0-0. Let's just make sure next 15, 20 minutes we stay solid. We don't give up a cheap chance or a cheap goal. And then once we get to 60, 65 minutes, then let's try and push on and win it then. But the first 15, 20 minutes after half time, just let's stay solid. Keep that clean sheet for as long as possible. And then try and nick it late on if we can.
Yeah, is that agreed with everyone? Would you have any?
Well, I want to be a little bit controversial.
Oh,
here we go.
You're the enforcer, so to be honest.
So I thought he might take Saka off at half time, to be honest with you, because he was getting quite a few knocks. He was down for at least a minute and a half, and the ref didn't even blow the whistle. I just thought, I don't think he had the best game, to be honest with you. But even in the first half, I thought he'd taken too many knocks, and I thought he might bring Trossard or Martinelli on in Saka's place, to be quite honest with you, because I don't think Saka was there today. And that's my controversial statement.
I don't think it's controversial. I think he was struggling. I think just as Arteta said there was no injury, but there was obviously fatigue there. I still think that he's still carrying some proper knock. There were two challenges that I think we'd all kind of say that if it was us making a tackle like that, then we probably would have seen a yellow card for him.
Yeah.
But
in fairness, Rice did get away with one as well.
He got it. I think that was in that little. There was a passage of play. It was about 4 or 5 foul tackles that literally come sliding in, didn't he? And it was like one of those. It was just like you just saw it and you just think, blimey.
Yeah.
He's followed through and he's left him on it, and it's like the ref's just like, yeah, come on, get up. It's like,
no.
Yeah.
There was one like that on Jesus as well, and he's just, and he's flagging him to get up, and he's like, he's had his arms around his shoulder. And he's kicked him as well and pushed him over, and you're like, well, yeah, he's got to get up, hasn't he now? But do your job.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, they don't seem to, or they pick and choose when to do it. So, yeah, I think his probably fitness actually to go into the most notable. It wasn't. Look, the game was few and far between chance-wise, wasn't it? Really, in all honesty, there weren't a lot going on. It was very cat and mouse. I think we probably guessed that was going to be that case with similar kind of ways of playing and trying to fill anyone out. It was basically no one wants to give away anything. I think that was a bit the be all and end all of it. No one wanted to overstretch or overcommit, and look, that's why we say a point is really good now, because we go in, we do these next 2 games, and we can only look at Wednesday and then go on to the next one. But that next game on next Saturday, Man United, they go to Man United, Liverpool, don't they?
Sunday, yeah.
on Sunday. So you think if we can obviously get that result on Saturday, then it puts massive pressure on Liverpool, and you suddenly say, well, look, at that point, we could be back to where it was. And this is where the goal difference was massive as well, because again, it worked in our favour. So, yeah, so I'm quietly positive again we can pick up and go. But yeah, I think Saka, I think it'll be a big struggle for him to be up for Wednesday. I'd like to maybe say rest him until the weekend and try and get him that little bit of rest, because we've got Bayern Munich on the way as well.
We have a hectic schedule coming up. Yeah,
we got massive. We got that's the massive one. If you were picking those games and you're suddenly saying, right, okay, well, look, we don't know what to expect for Brighton. I think they were a little. Well, I'm not sure they were unlucky against Liverpool today, but from what I saw, but again, we don't know.
You just thought Brighton would be a team that could have beaten Liverpool, though.
I had them to maybe get a result or a draw. When they had after like one or 2 minutes, it was like okay, and then they dug in, and Liverpool being Liverpool.
If it was away, maybe
exactly. At Anfield.
Yeah, no way.
No, it's never gonna. It was never gonna stay that way. But yeah, Welbeck's goal was really good. But
yeah, it was a good finish.
Yeah, but yeah, look, let's hope Eric Sevenhag comes good for that game, and
they're probably going to batter them as well. But there you go.
Oh, I know, but yeah. So yeah,
I hate to say it, but it might be Tottenham that do us a favour.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But they'll be so Spursy to go and beat Liverpool. Probably get. They haven't got to play City anymore, have they?
They do, yeah. They play City.
Yeah.
It's still to be refixed because of the cup.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But it could be last week of the season.
So Liverpool's the only away one, though, isn't it? For City.
Yeah.
For Spurs, rather.
Yeah.
So Liverpool's at Anfield.
Yeah.
And us and City are at the Lane, I think.
Yeah. Correct.
That'll be interesting. It'll be quite funny. I'll tell you, it'll be very Spursy if they beat both of them and then we actually go over to Tottenham and beat them. I don't want to think that far ahead because
a
lot of water under the bridge before we.
There's a lot before that comes around, but it would be very funny. But yeah, look. So we had the substitution. We had Trossard coming on. I was surprised. I thought Martinelli would have been the first one, but maybe that was a sign that he isn't, or he wasn't fully there.
How bad was that cut?
I'm not sure if it was just a cut. Where you think if something's cut you, or some guys come in and literally studs in, and because the tackle was horrendous against Sheffield United, weren't it? And
it was on the instep as well, so I think it's obviously something you're going to be standing on all the time.
Yeah, all the time, but you never know also about the bruising as well. When you suddenly think, well, is there a proper whack on it as well? Where you suddenly think there's a lot going on, but. Tell you what, Trossard, he made a really good run, didn't he? He made a little skill and then beat the defender and then carried on up the wing. And you suddenly thought, hang on a minute, this might be a nice little outlet, but then it went back in time and then it was just end up flying nothing. And I look at then that little chance, the little chance. He's picked up the ball. Odegaard's picked up the ball. He's played the ball out on the wing. Trossard's got the ball. Sparks, what's he got to do? Trossard picked up that ball. What's he got to do?
I'd smash it.
Are we talking John Smith? Just have it, kind of.
Just have it, big time, and just go large.
Shot on goal.
Yeah.
Shot on goal. Oh, okay. Well, that's failed. That's a big cross there. I'm just gonna make that cross down. Yeah, there you go. It's a cross. Yeah, wrong answer.
Should have crossed it.
Mark, what should he have done?
Oh, when you're on the right.
Yeah.
Slide it across.
I don't think it's an easy pass. He would have had to try it off his left foot.
It's one of those.
It's what he should have done, but it's not. I don't think it's as easy as it looks on the television to execute that pass.
I think it's one of those when you look at it, the earlier he hits the pass, and even if he has to play, obviously just curling it away from the defender. So if he's obviously, it's
we've seen him as well. Actually, we've seen him do that before, and basically run in and do the cutback behind the defender, and either get the ball across or put it in the far post.
Yeah, I just think
if you're playing, isn't it, where you're not doing it yourself.
Yeah, no, look, if I was getting paid that much money, I'd have, outside of the boot, just tucked it into that little bit of space. But look, it was a tricky execution, I'd say, but one that maybe a top player would probably execute and get it done.
Do you think he had the Liverpool goal in his head?
Potentially, actually, now that you mention it, Sparks.
So when he's basically defeated the centre back and the keeper all in one motion, and he's basically just got that in his head, and he's just gone, well, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, maybe. Or he hasn't fully looked up and saw Martinelli.
I don't think he did look up, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
But I'm saying, if you're suddenly seeing him and you know that Martinelli's running and he's literally there, and you're suddenly thinking Martinelli's going to get to anything, he's like a flipping greyhound. You chuck him the ball, he'll be on it, and you suddenly just think if he plays it into space, then the defender's beaten. If he plays it with pace or good like purchase on the pass, then it's a ball through. But it was tough, but it could have been so good there at that moment, wasn't it? There's been what was that? About 8 minutes left, wasn't it? 8 or 10 minutes left, or something like that, roundabouts.
Yeah, it was on 80 minutes, wasn't
it? Yeah. So
somewhere there.
I'll tell you what, that would have sent the away crowd a bit wild, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that was that. Can I just say one thing as well? You're talking about the crowd pool, right?
Yeah.
Gary Neville claimed he only heard the Arsenal fans once in the first half. What a load of rubbish! I heard them shouting all the way through the first half. He don't know what he's talking about.
Well, they picks and chooses, doesn't he? He picks and chooses.
Absolute idiot.
I don't know, Bez. What were your thoughts on the latter part of the game? Do you think we could have nicked it, or did you think we were? I don't know. Just
something crept me.
Cool.
Inside thing, it might be the same as it was in autumn. We might just nick it. I don't know. I just felt it could have happened, but sadly, we didn't have that cutting edge in the final third today, which is sad to say. Literally, I was just begging within my head, saying, "God, just give us that chance." And the chances were there. We had one of the few that we had. But I was just thinking, what happened? Where is this magical pass going to come from? As you guys mentioned, the Trossard thing. I was just thinking, why couldn't this even have someone like Declan Rice just have the ball, just shoot, man, or have someone just, I don't know, make something out of nothing. Like the way in the home game, we just gave them a shock. And I think this one, even again, we say it's 0-0, but sadly, it's just what could have been again. I mean, if we had beaten them, we could have just at least shut them off for another year. It'd be nice too. But we'll take the 4 points out of 6 in the season that we had with them this year. Bigger difference compared to last year. But I just do wish a little bit. I had a little wake up to say, look, guys, we have defensively, we're in control, but please go a bit more offensive. And sadly, we didn't see that, which is a bit annoying and a bit frustrating, I guess, as well.
I think it's just fine margins, isn't it? It's such fine margins, and everything's kind of decided by real minuscule kind of details. And you look.
It's look like this, the stop.
4 points over Liverpool this season. We got 4 points on Man City. Only thinking 2 rivals. If you've done that, then you should be good to go. It's frustrating. I think on that side, but the main thing was don't mess up. Don't muck up, and it'll be.
Don't lose it.
Exactly.
We did one thing. Thomas Partey obviously made a comeback run now, didn't he? Obviously coming on, and he had a shot on target. Well, no, didn't have a shot on target. No,
he had a shot.
Was it a shot?
I think it was a shot. I think it ended up in the moon.
One of his normal ones that when
Yeah.
normally get up a tier.
After everyone in the
Yeah,
stadium
that-
will
that's the
shoot.
one.
And then,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that
Yeah.
before.
That's the one. That's once before he actually had shooting practice. I think.
The pigeons
So,
have their crash
I-
helmets on just to be safe.
I don't think he's gone. He's gone shooting training yet. He's obviously done a bit of running on grass,
Yeah.
and maybe doing some pass drills, and the shooting drills are yet to come.
Yeah.
Look, it was a hit and a miss. Sadly, I love Party so much. It's just a hit and a miss.
Yes.
Well, there was an interview with him in the week, wasn't there, where he wants to stay at Arsenal, but it looks like he's going to be going. So that came from his mouth. So,
Who's what? What's this?
there was an interview on YouTube, apparently, right? I saw part of it. I didn't see all of it. I only saw part of it. But apparently, he wants to stay at Arsenal, but he thinks he's going in the summer.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah. Well, again, this all comes down to the plan of Arsenal, isn't it? Really, in the day of obviously their targets and what they need to do to achieve them, isn't it? Really, financially. If they've earmarked him that he's going to be the one that's going to give us some dollar, then he'll be gone. But
He's on 200 grand a week anyway, isn't he? So even if we don't get money for him, it's money off the bill, isn't it?
off the
Yeah.
weight bill, yeah.
yeah, just a quick shout to G. Evening all, what a bloody day! She was at the final today for the ladies, so travelling back as well. I imagine a long journey back. Hope you had a good time. It was a good result. Thomas Partey, does he come in on Wednesday?
I think so. I
yes.
think you will. I think we might see 4 or 5 changes Wednesday, but yeah, I do think Partey will be back in the team on Wednesday. Jorginho, I think, played both games for Italy in the international break. I don't know if he played 90 minutes in both of them, but he did definitely play for Italy twice. Rice played for England twice. So we've had guys who, Odegaard played for Norway twice. So we've had guys who've had a lot of minutes recently between Arsenal and the international team. We have a very hectic April, so I think he has to come back in on Wednesday evening. It's probably the only game in the next 4 or 5 where you can actually take a chance, for want of a better word, and rotate a little bit and make use of our squad. Because I think between today and the 28th of April, we play 9 times. So that's a hell of a lot of football. If you're going to keep flogging the same 11 players, you won't get to the end of April in the healthy position we're in now. You just won't. So
We've not done that before, have we?
no, never.
I think the fact he actually came on speaks volumes anyway, because it's like you just want to get his legs going, give him some actual match time, and by all
if he stays fit, Sparksy, if he stays fit, then he's got a purpose, he's got a role.
Of course,
This is where I say maybe that may not be 100% that he gets sold, because if he stays fit and he goes through maybe even through the summer and he shows that he can be an able player.
Yeah, but Jorginho could have been knackered as well.
Yeah.
So
when you look at it, you just keep him.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously depends on what areas we kind of see as a priority to replace or just get in the summer. So obviously it's going to depend on that as to whether he's actually kept. Because if there's 3 in the same position, I don't see us keeping them.
What's our 2 priorities? Go on, Des. Go on. You give me your first or your top 2 priorities for the summer. What do we strengthen?
I'm thinking. Sorry, because I'm not a Party fan, so I can't get on the hype bus like everybody else does.
Des doesn't like a party.
I like a party. I just don't like.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Oh, Thomas, you do like Thomas? Okay, sorry.
For me, I think I said it with James last time James was hosting. Saka needs a backup, and then I'm a bit stuck, to be quite honest with you, because I don't think we do need a striker. But if we go for one, we go for one. I'm a bit. We need to do one position really, definitely strengthen Saka because too much is put on him. I think personally. Do we need to strengthen the midfield? No, because Partey can come in and he can play a game. So I don't think, and I'm all right with the back four. I'm all right with the keeper. No, I think for me, Saka, the main thing is getting Saka someone who can, step into his shoes, so he can have some time off. He doesn't need to be playing 100 games one after the other or whatever.
Yeah.
Give the boy a break. I know they call him Star Lad, and I totally understand why, but give the boy a break.
Yeah, no.
Give us a bit of variety as well as fans. Give us a bit of variety because if you play the same guy in the same position all the time in the same sort of way, you get worked out, don't you? And I think you just need to bring someone in who plays it a little bit differently. And yeah, that's all I can really think of because I think the midfield is pretty strong. The defence is definitely strong. Now Tomiyasu's back as well. We're even stronger, I think.
Yeah, it was another good thing to see him back as well.
Yeah, it was. It was good to see him on the pitch today. And I tell you what, he came on and he was the old Tomiyasu, wasn't he? And yeah, I can't give you two, to be honest with you, Paul. I can only give you one.
That's all right. That's fine. Anyone else working? Who's got a two? Go on.
Oh, look, I agree and disagree with Des. The enforcer is his, but I would like a Saka wingman. But personally, I do want a striker that will score at least 20 goals a season. We do need that. Today was a game that again proved to us we need that enforcer in the mid of the pitch. I love Havertz lately. I love Jesus, but sadly we need a striker who will score 20 goals a season for us in this 30 that is a Premier League season.
So your two choices.
Question.
Sorry, Paul, go on.
Question. If we had a player like Haaland in that team today, would we have been better off than we was today?
No, because we don't need a Haaland.
Haaland only plays when you have the ball.
We're talking about a player that could score 20 goals, aren't we?
Yes, but we don't need Haaland's for me a bit of a one-trick pony.
It's a good trick to have.
I agree,
yeah, I'm not disputing that whatsoever.
You can't hold the ball
Somebody
up.
that can play footballers at the same time, I wouldn't go that far, but I'm not paid by Sky, so yeah, I'm not going to be as radical as that. But I just want him to be better with his feet, and do the odd layoff. Like Giroud used to be, that kind of thing. So he's the same kind of stature. Granted, he didn't score as many goals as Haaland does, but he could do a layoff.
Right.
He can actually bring people into the other players into the fold, and he doesn't necessarily have to score himself.
He was beautiful as a player.
Yeah,
Giroud.
So underrated.
Sorry. He was beautiful in looks as well as.
Oh, he was a gorgeous man, wasn't he? He was gorgeous.
But he was beautiful as a player as well. You'd hold the three players up, and then he'd still hold the ball, and then he'd be laying off Cazorla, and then.
Yeah, but for me, I want a striker. I'm okay with Jesus, Nelson, and Trossard being the subs on the wing. Potentially, they can play both wings anyway. Although Arteta doesn't seem to like Trossard on the right wing for some reason. I'm sure he's played on the right. I'm sure he played on the right for Brighton. But he doesn't seem to want to do that. But maybe Jesus is the right wing backup, maybe, and a backup striker when we get to that point. For me, I think I'd still want another centre back. I want a backup centre back. Obviously, Timber coming back in is going to be big. But I think more than likely he's going to play on the left anyway.
It's a tough one, isn't it, Mark?
It is.
You know, even you talk about that, and you talk about the defenders, and you look at all the options that you've got, and you suddenly think everyone could kind of interchange here and play here and there.
Yeah.
Chuck another centre back into that mix, and you're suddenly thinking, well, the ones that are not playing or not getting the game time, they could still do it probably at a real decent level as well. So if you chuck, I don't know. Look, I think we could.
You need 4 top centre backs basically to go through the season, and obviously next season, hopefully we're not out of all the cup competitions like so early on, and you know there's more games to play anyway, so there's more rotation in that area. And I know we all want Gabriel and Saliba to stay in there forever and play every game, but it's just. It's realistic.
You need to mix around, don't you? You need to swap it around. But yeah, like as I say, we need those cup competitions, don't we? We need to go on a couple of good runs.
Has Jorginho got another year in him, or I suppose if he hasn't, then the midfield does need something.
Yeah, he's got another year. I think there's talk that he's going to have another year contract. But again, it's all dependent on how he is. I think I've been advised that he's been playing with a condition or some kind of legal.
Do you think El Neni will go in the summer at last, or do you think he'll still sit on the bench next season?
It's an interesting one. Look, he doesn't moan; he just gets on with it.
He's a team player. He's a team player. Don't get me wrong, but you know,
he's learning coaching as well.
Coaching.
Yeah, I'll take it back then. I didn't realise that.
So he's doing his badges. So it's not just
his own contract as well.
That's what
he's done. His boy actually plays in the league. My boy's playing. Different age groups, but he's obviously he's dotted around in like the AstroTurf where we play. So so he's in and around, and he's got an academy set up as well around me. So El Neni Football Academy. So
I think he's only on 50k as well. So he's kind of the same.
Oh right, I didn't realise he was on 50k.
I think from what I've been told, he's very decent as well around all the players. The youngsters. He's one of those players you want around those young players.
Do you know what it is? I'm just nasty. Sorry.
Someone has to be Des.
You know. So Bez says we need a striker. Yeah, Bez said we need a striker. So if you believe the internet, our 2 choices are that Gorkiez and Cisco from Leipzig, Red Bull Leipzig, whatever. So Bez, out of them 2, who would you have?
Actually, to be honest, I've not even heard of those being linked. I've just got Tony and I got Watkins in my head. That's what I'm fighting in my head right now.
Yeah, not Tony.
Fair enough. I just wondered if you'd heard anything of it and what your choice would be.
I'll look them up. For the next one, I'll do my homework. I promise. I'll do my homework for the next one.
Do your own work.
Bro, it was the ladies and the men's. Okay, keep them. I was the ladies and the men's simultaneously as well today. Bear that in mind.
I've got to work out how you pronounce the sporting guy's name. So,
that rules him out. We're not signing him.
I think we need to pronounce that, and then also we've got probably a 3-year period to try and get him a song.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's Gorkiez, isn't it? Is that how I pronounce it? Am I right?
Say that again.
Gorkiez, isn't it?
Yorkiez.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a silent. Is it a silent G? Noisy Y.
I think it's all based around the O. It's like an extended thing.
Oh, right.
So it's all based around that. So you kind of start with that and then work the rest out from there. Okay. It's like Erdegaard. The letter is the accentuation.
Yes,
that's even a word. The punctuation.
I must admit, I was telling Sparks before. I've been looking into this Cisco lad. He looks pretty good. He does look pretty good.
Who's he play for? Leipzig.
Yeah. Leipzig, yeah.
Cisco's Leipzig. Gyökeres is Sporting Lisbon.
Who did they play in the Europa? Or what? They are in Europa.
They play Dortmund.
I remember watching.
Leipzig played Real in the last round of Champions League. I'm not sure who
That's
scored.
the one. Yeah, that's what I was watching. Yeah, no. Yeah, he had a couple of. Yeah, that's it. They were ripping.
Real.
Real.
Yeah, they were very unlucky to get knocked out.
They were. Yeah, and I saw it. They had a couple of chances, and he had a couple of them, and just kind of missed them. And it was like, yeah, they were ripping them apart a little bit, and yeah, didn't have enough to do them. So yeah, so I'm really happy. I'm going into Wednesday full of confidence. Is everyone? Well, not everyone. I'm going to cross off the enforcer. He's too far up north. Bez, you're watching on some stream.
I'll be watching it. I will be watching it, but I won't.
I'll keep an eye on the game. Trust me. I'll be.
Yeah, he'll be there. Mark, you'll be there. Are you going to be there?
No, I'm not travelling this week.
Okay.
Mark, so you a few annual leave days back for Champions League nights, you know.
You need to prioritise. Yeah. Are you there, Sparks?
So far, yes. Yeah, I am working in a week. So yeah, at the moment, yes.
All right. Well,
it is at home, is it? Is it at home?
Yeah.
We'll try and meet up, have a bit.
I've got a ticket for the Brighton game as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's my birthday on Brighton game.
Well, you're not having my ticket.
No.
It was a very bad one.
Just so there's no.
That was resounding, wasn't it? That was definitely resounding.
He just probably dropped the bob there, just like straight down.
Yeah. You'll be right. You can't have me ticket, right?
Yeah.
Kittens in the best of times in the amount of games. I'm going to Munich for the leg. So I'm over there. Obviously, then the week before being at home. Obviously, we've got a load of home games, haven't we?
Yeah, it's all coming up.
In Villa on the following weekend.
That's going to be an interesting match, Villa.
Yeah, so it's going to be absolute massive kind of 2-3 weeks.
Martinez yesterday, what a save he made.
You were sorry?
That was crazy. Down that low from over. Martinez yesterday made a save where he was over the other side of the goal and got to the other corner and saved it. Like, as a goalkeeper, I was gobsmacked. I was like, how do you do that? He was that quick.
I don't know. I saw the game before. He made a mistake, didn't he? He had a shocker. And
we've got it in us as goalkeepers.
Yeah. No one can back us up. Emerson's in the house. Evening, guys.
Get well soon, Emerson. Get well soon, my friend.
Is he all good?
He's having chemotherapy, I believe.
Oh my God. Yes. Be strong, Emerson. Anything in the chat, mate, that'll be grand. What are your predictions for Wednesday?
17-0. Nah. 2-3-0 Arsenal. I can't decide on which.
I said 3 when I was on Thursday with Brooksy, so I'll stick with that.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 as well.
Yeah. Bez?
I'll go in the middle with Brooksy and Mark did on Thursday. I'll go 7.
I'll take it.
I remember that now.
It's more.
Spent the whole stream telling us not to get carried away, and then when he was asked for predictions, said 7-0. Yeah.
Remember, Mark. You see, I'm still keeping him onto my track. I'm not changing that.
I'm going to go 5-1. I'm going to go 5-1. I think it'll be a tough game. I think we've seen enough of Luton to kind of say they can give something back, can't they? It's not really plain sailing, but I think they've had a lot of injuries as well.
Can I just say quickly, they remind you a bit like Hull City when they first came up. Because I was like in my late 20s when they came up. But literally, they remind me like Hull City when they first came up. It's very similar, very entertaining, but also very unpredictable.
Yeah.
I really can't believe you just brought up that club's name.
Sorry.
The thing is, they're good at home. They're good at home because they've got a small pitch still. But they don't really travel that well.
No, look, when we're talking about us being where we are, then look, we shouldn't worry.
Yeah,
look,
probably.
our home or away game against them was like,
It's one of those. If you're serious about winning the league, you have to win.
Yeah, it can't.
No
it
ifs,
can't
no
be a
buts, no
stumbling
maybes.
block.
You just have to get 3 points.
Yeah.
yeah. So Bez, you've just brought up. Let's just get a little
I
story.
wouldn't anymore. Look, I'm trying to clear it out. Look, system.
I'm a little bit scared of this because I know quite a bit about Hull. Yeah.
You've now just brought up Hull City.
They've all got hairy arms.
All city.
So obviously we played them in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, we know.
There's me having a few pre-drink pre-match soft drinks.
Refreshments.
Down in King's Cross, the O'Neills. And we're kind of like at the bar, and then all of a sudden in walks this tiger. It's like looking around there, and then a couple of mates are like, what's that stink? It's like some
Oh, I know what's coming.
some female Hull City fan dressed up in a tiger onesie, and it smelt like maybe she'd been living in it for about 10, 12 days. And it was horrendous. And she was like literally, she was all over the shop, and it really pained me in general, and it stained my whole kind of like memory, because now when we have this discussion about that cup final,
All you can remember is the onesie.
the tiger onesie.
What have I done?
Yeah, so that was it. So that was one of those really funny kind of cup final memory kind of things where.
There's the Bray has to have. He's got to have psychological help now because of you.
Yeah. PTSD is real.
As a therapist, if you
He needs therapy now, Bez. See what?
If you listen to onesie lady.
Well, my mum's a therapist. If you need her, I'll tell her. If you need any help, I'll pass it.
Yeah.
What would be funny is if she was in the chat now and commented.
I wish I told her to keep an eye on this. I promise you that. I wish I did.
Yeah, no, that's it. Oh, yeah, no, I can't think of any more.
Sure, Paul, I'll not say that name again. I promise you, I'll try not to bring it up ever again. I've won.
I'm good. Not an easy match on Wednesday. As I spoke to a couple of Luton fans yesterday in Finsbury Park by the 12 pins. Yeah. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good game. I think, I think we'll do the job. I think it's going to be the Brighton game that's going to be the tricky one, isn't it?
I mean, a tough game, that.
Yeah. But again, it depends on what team turns up for them, because they're chalk and cheese at the minute as well. You don't know what.
They weren't great today, but they were at Anfield, to be fair. So it's a completely different game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you get the start, but can you keep it up? And you're suddenly thinking, well, no. If you keep losing the ball in those kind of crazy areas that they were, it was kind of a little bit like us at times, where we were kind of losing it a little bit. We were dribbling into traffic, and then suddenly it was coming back, and it was like, oh god, how long is this going to last? You know, like it's like, oh no, it's happening again.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, look, every game, massive game. And we roll on. I think lads has been good. I think it's nice. I hope you all had a great Easter as well. I haven't even mentioned that. I hope you had a good time with families and stuff. Really pleased that you've come on. So, wanted a quick shout out quickly for the Arsenal ladies as well, winning the Conti Cup today. Yeah, really good victory.
Retained the Conti Cup, didn't they?
Yep.
Retained the Conti Cup.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so they've done it. They've won it, and they beat the old enemy, and Chelsea. So no quadruple.
What a shame.
Yeah,
What a shame for Emma Hayes. What a shame.
and Emma Hayes. Yeah,
I'm really sorry for her.
My heart is bleeding. My heart is bleeding.
Yeah.
She barged into didn't she?
Yeah.
Sore loser.
Does this buy Jonas a bit more time then? Because I've I've seen a few things where people think he should go. I think he's doing a good job personally, but this should buy him a bit more time, shouldn't it?
Not sure. Not sure. I think in the overall picture, what do you reckon, everyone?
Personally, I think he's he has bought himself some time, but he needs to work on his decision making. He's a bit of a wet lettuce when it comes to imposing decisions, from what I've seen. Albeit very loosely. I don't watch them a lot. I've started watching them more because obviously the channels are covering them more. But that's just my take. He looks a bit rabbit in headlights sometimes, and doesn't really know what to do. So just some questionable decisions. But yeah, for sure. I mean, he wins a trophy, so at the end of the day, for any manager, it buys them time, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
That's
it's one of those, isn't it? How you then pick up and go again the following season. But if everyone's happy on that side, then
women, they entered 4 competitions this year and they've underperformed in 3 of them, and they won this one. So it might buy him some time, but there's probably people who are far better placed to comment on it than me. But of the 4 competitions, I think he has, or the team has underperformed by their own expectations in 3 of those 4. And the one they won would probably be, at the start of the season, the lowest priority of the 4. That's from talking to people who are far more expert on the ladies' side of things than I would be.
Yeah, I'm sure George will cover that in the the Arsenal Fans Forever women's review show. So,
Friday, wasn't it?
yeah, I think it's on. Is it Thursday or Friday? Oh, it must be on Friday, isn't it?
Friday
night. Yeah. One other little bit of news, obviously Frida Romano, which was obviously quite a worrying thing, which happened in the game. She obviously collapsed, didn't she? Just before the full-time whistle.
Oh, flipping it.
The play was halted for about near 10 minutes or so. Collapsed just off the ball, really. Kind of story, just off picture, and then kind of just went down and done. But she was taken off the pitch with oxygen, and by all accounts, she's stable and kind of conscious and stuff. So wish her well and get back to it. But not a nice thing to see, certainly in the stadium. So but the women really good to get the trophy anyway, because losing to Chelsea the way they did in the league was probably a proper kick in the gut, really. I think it was a poor thing from kitman to performance, wasn't it? Really, with the sock gate that was missing. Emerson said they won it for Frida. Leonardson, Mono will collapse on the pitch, and also the under-18s won on Saturday against Fulham under-18s.
Oh yeah, the under-18s 5-2. Yeah.
Yeah. So Obi Martin is
getting
his second hat-trick. Yeah. So, it's looking good and rosy. But I'd say thank you anyway for tonight. Taking part on the show on Sunday. Enjoy your bank holiday Monday tomorrow, and then we roll on to Wednesday. Anyone else to bring out anything else, or are we all good? Or
no, I think we covered everything, mate. I think we absolutely covered everything.
Yeah, right. Well, let's say brilliant. It's been good to have you all on, and have a good one, and then we'll catch up soon. But,
thanks everyone.
Everyone, you've been watching the big Sunday show in the North Bank. Tune in through the week for some more good shows. And these lads come on all the time, don't they? Especially that Mark. He's on everywhere.
On every show, Mark is.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm joining him. I think.
You are, Bez. You're almost honorary, kind of like full time now.
I feel part of it now. I think I feel part of it.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So thank you everyone, and I'll speak to you Speak to you all soon. I hope to see you, Sparksy, at the game.
Yeah. See you there.